What's up, everybody? Or should I say, what's good?
Yeah.
This is your secret segment for October for you, our secret patrons. As you can see, we are... Oh, sorry, my bad.
Wow. Unprofessional.
We are still drinking mimosas. We are recording this right after we saw the Red Dead Redemption 2 reveal.
It's 8:45 in the morning.
It is. But come on, mimosas, please. So we were like, what should we talk about for our secret segment for October? And it seems so obvious that we should talk about Halloween stuff. So we're like, let's talk about some of our favorite scary movies, our favorite Halloween memories. And then Alexa's probably going to sprinkle in some tidbits about the fact that her mom is a ghost hunter.
Please
so
do.
It's
all things spooky. So this is your spooky secret segment.
It's the spooktacular
secret
Your
segment.
spoopy segment.
Spoopy?
Secret
Spoopy
spoopy. You know what
sounds-
spoopy is?
I've seen the
Okay,
spoopy.
look. All right.
Explain it. I've seen the spoopies on the internet.
As usual, I am an internet-like gremlin, so I have to explain the things that I find on the internet. So spoopy, somebody posted a picture of a like knockoff, like made in China Halloween item, and they had misspelled spooky on the bag, and it said spoopy.
I love it.
Is that how it started?
That's how it started. That's how
Wow.
spoopy started.
You just learned
So
me.
now people just say it's spoopy, and now it's just become a thing. And spoopy kind of means like it's definitely supposed to be spooky, but it's kind of a little like not spooky, maybe a little derpy or a little
I get it now.
meh. So it's spoopy.
I've never heard this
Spoopy.
before.
So this is a spoopy segment, I think.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Spoopy.
Thank
So
you.
we should make spoopy Halloween costumes is what you're
Spoopy.
saying.
Very spoopy. An
Okay.
example of a spoopy Halloween costume would be like a Yoshi or something.
What?
What?
Because he's not spoopy.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
he's
Because
not
he's not
spooky.
scary. Okay, that makes
spoopy.
sense.
But it's not even
very
like
spoopy.
remotely. I would think it would be
Spoopy.
more like a quote unquote scary Pokemon or something that's not really that scary.
The sandcastle Pokemon.
No, that one's legitimately terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't
I
generally
just came up with their Halloween costume.
Yeah, I don't generally go for scary Halloween costumes. I know it's so Mean Girls to be like, I want
gonna
to be
say, are
in
you a
like the
sexy
sexy
kitten?
thing, but I generally do that. So one of my
I'm a mouse.
my,
Duh.
Yeah, my longest running Halloween costume, because I reuse my Halloween costumes, because why not? You pay for them. I've been Princess Peach like 7 years. Not
a row.
all in a
God.
row.
Oh.
But
I thought it was like, damn.
Britt, can you reach my Yoshi backpack over there?
I can.
So I have this Yoshi backpack that I bought specifically to go with this outfit, because I was like, okay, listen, Peach can't carry around some basic perks.
But Peach
right?
doesn't ride
So-
Yoshi.
Oh my god.
I know she doesn't
She
ride
could
it.
if she wanted to.
But well, Peach and Yoshi can be friends. So essentially, this is a backpack, and what's great about it for Halloween is that his shell opens here, and then you can like put like your ID and
How
like
deep
a
does this
lipstick.
backpack go?
It's
Is it,
got
like,
it's pretty deep actually. I mean, he's just get all the way
I
in
feel
there.
a little weird.
All right, I
Is it
can't
like a
get-
puppet? Can you
I
make it
can't-
into a puppet?
I can't
No.
get into the
No.
head. I can't get into the head.
No.
Nor can I get into the butt. Okay, that's
So
a
it's
pretty
just
shallow
like his
backpack.
stomach
No,
cavity.
there's like, I mean,
It's his back
there's
cavity.
a lot of
Literally
stuffing
his
in there, but
belly.
essentially, this is what I wear, and I'll throw a photo up on the screen so you guys can see it, because there's lots of photos of me in this Peach costume. But it was one of my favorites. And then one year when I was out drinking in Hollywood as Peach, I ran into Mario and Luigi, and
Oh,
it was
no.
like the most epic reunion. I was like, my brothers, and they're like, that's not how that works. I'd had too much tequila that night. Okay, it was a fun moment though, and I think I have a drunk picture of me with these guys somewhere, so I'll see if I can dig that up. And
I have
put it up
some
there for
drunk
you.
Mario pictures too. I was Mario one year for Halloween, and it was like a
I think
super
I've seen these
skin
photos.
super like skin tight little like dress that's barely covering everything. And I had too much to drink one night too, and I ran into some Mario and Luigi brothers, and it was a glorious moment when you're intoxicated and you see like
Somebody who relates to you.
yeah, it's just oh my god, best friends.
You're like,
Forever.
oh my
I'll
god,
have to find
you
those pictures,
also
yeah.
like this thing? I like this thing.
Yeah.
Although I'm not much. When I was a kid, my grandmother used to make us the most epic costumes. Like
Ooh.
she made us a Rainbow Bright costume that kind of like
I love Rainbow Bright.
it was legit. Like I'll try and send you a photo so you can
Rainbow
post
Bright
it
is so
because
legit.
the costume looked amazing. She would be the world's greatest cosplayer if she still made stuff right now. She made me a Princess Jasmine I was Jasmine. My sister was Raja. Like when we were kids, we used to get really into it because we would get these costumes sent to us. But now I'm like, that's a lot of effort. So I don't really dress up for Halloween anymore. Last year, I dressed up as Yennefer only because we had a costume at the office that was already made that fit a model that I was like, they're leggings, so maybe I can squeeze into them. And I did. And my internals felt like they were being crushed, but it was worth it.
I guess it's good to keep the munchies down when you're in a tight costume.
That's true. You don't eat.
Alexa, do you have a favorite costume either from childhood or from adulthood?
Oh my God. I've just like the past couple of years, I always have these grandiose ideas for Halloween and then like fall off the wagon because in the weeks leading up, I get so busy. So I've just been reusing cosplay. I've been Lightning from Final Fantasy 13 like twice because I spent like $2,000 making this Stitch accurate costume several years ago.
Wow.
Over the
Hey,
course,
if you pour that much money, just
Yeah.
like use it as much as you can.
over the course of a year, like her pauldron, it has a battery pack and a light in it, and it lights up. And I had the sword, and everything was like super Stitch accurate. So I was so anal retentive about it. I've been Yuna from Final Fantasy 10. Last year, me and a friend were Tweak and Craig from South Park.
Oh my God.
And we did the like, and we were like, I'll find some pictures, but we did like a bunch of like yaoi poses because there's that joke in the show that like Tweak and Craig are in love. So we did all this like weird.
Is it a joke? I thought it was like a confirmed
Yeah,
thing.
now they're like
Is it a
confirmed
joke?
couple.
Okay.
But it started off as like a joke because like little girls in school were drawing pictures of them together. So then they got together. So we did that. But when I was little, I was the Pink Power Ranger for like 7 years.
Did you have the gloves that made the
All of
swishy
it.
noise when you like went like this?
All of it. Me and my younger cousin were the Red Ranger and the Pink Ranger like every single year because we'd go trick or treating in my cousin's neighborhood because it was bigger and that's where it was flat and that's where all the candy was. And the last year I wore it, I will never forget. I was like running down the street and like took a digger and ate dirt and just like ripped the entire front of that costume. Just like, so I showed up at like the next house with my like tattered little costume. And the people were like, rough night, Power Rangers.
The putties, man.
I was like, yeah, I was like, putties. The putties.
Whoa. Did you
and-
guys have that one house in the neighborhood that gave out way better stuff than the rest? And if so, what was it? Because I remember vividly the one house on the street that gave out entire Cracker Jack boxes.
We had
Wait,
two
what?
houses that did full-size bars.
See,
Like full-size
Yeah, the
bars.
full-size
Yeah.
Snicker bar was like the go-to like
Jack
must
box.
get. See, I didn't like Cracker Jack as a kid.
It's caramel corn basically, which
I know, but I didn't understand that. I was just like, there's peanuts in this.
Yeah.
I don't know what
It's
this
moderately
means.
healthy. I don't want it. It's
Yeah,
not junky enough for
I
me.
definitely needed Snickers, which ironically also has peanuts in it, but it's covered in chocolate,
It's different.
and caramel, and so I just always wanted candy. But we would use pillowcases because
Yep.
we were
we did too.
Okay, good. I don't
Huh.
feel like as ghetto as I thought.
No, we use
Um,
pillowcases.
I never used
so-
a pillowcase.
yeah, you never
smart
did?
though.
Well,
Smart
you've
though.
never lived.
You wait, so did you have like a pumpkin bucket or like one of those things? Or
Yeah,
what
it
did
was.
you use?
Yeah, we would convoy, so it would be like 8 of us going, like only like 2 kids and like 6 adults, so they would carry all of our candy. So we could use like the little tiny buckets because they
Wow.
weren't efficient
You
for
had
carrying.
concierge service.
But there's something so like the idea like just the existence of a pillowcase filled
Yeah.
with candy. Something about it is just like
Wholesome.
so wholesome and
Yeah.
pure.
Well,
Like,
and the
why-
pillowcase is so structurally sound that you
Yeah.
can hold lots of candy in a pillowcase.
smart.
Yeah.
I was eating candy for like 3 weeks after Halloween as a
Oh.
kid.
Wasn't that the best feeling ever? Getting home and just pouring all of your candy on the
On the
floor.
floor.
and doing
Or-
tradesies
Yes.
and being like,
Being
I don't
like,
want this.
is
Can I
crap
take
candy. Let's trade it to someone else.
No.
The irony being now that as an adult, so we did Halloween here at the house we're renting now for the first time last year. And because I've always lived in apartments as an adult, we've never done like the passing out candy thing. And last year was our first year. We went over to our neighbor's house and we like sat in their front room and drank wine and passed out candy. But what we did is I read a blog saying to make sure to offer things for either diabetic kids or kids
so
that
much more
can't eat
complicated
dairy
now.
and kids that can't eat peanuts. And so we like tried to like have like little mini bottles of water to hand out to kids. And then we got
That's so smart.
we got the cuties, the little
Oh, yeah, the oranges?
the oranges, the baby oranges, and a surprising amount of kids preferred to take the fruit to the candy.
Wow.
Really?
And I was like, this is definitely a California town. Because where I grew up, kids would look at the
No. Oh,
oranges
no.
and be like, bitch, you cray.
Man, I
I
don't.
don't want an
Where's
orange.
the chocolate?
I one time got a toothbrush. They didn't hand out candy. We'd be like trick or treat, and he had like literally a bucket full of multicolored like.
Was he a
Toothbrush.
dentist?
No, he was just an old
Yeah, I
grumpy
feel like-
man. And he was like, "Nah, you're gonna need this later." And then he
So-
shut the door.
Oh,
and that
your
was it.
teeth are gonna rot out,
I was like,
kid. And
"Thanks,
then you're
dude."
like, that's why they made veneers. Boom.
Oh.
So last year
expensive,
for
though.
Halloween, I had a party. Andrea, you were there.
Yes.
And I made these alcoholic gummy bears that had like 3 kinds of alcohol in them.
They were
and I made like
intense.
people got very angry with me. Like so because they like fucked people up.
Well, why would you be mad?
They were super, super, super alcoholic, and everyone was like super like hungover the next day. But I made this giant jar and had a ton left over, and we had the party the weekend before Halloween. So on actual Halloween, like kids and their parents like came to our door and I had candy for the kids, and I had the jar of gummy bears just out on the counter because I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with all of these alcoholic gummy bears. And one parent was like, do you like that's a fancy way to display gummy bears? And I go, they're alcoholic, and they're like, oh, and I was like, do you want some alcoholic gummy bears? So I was handing out little cups of alcoholic gummy bears to
so
the parents.
dangerous to take that from a stranger. I mean,
I know.
Alexra, you
I know.
are a genuine wholesome person, and you would never like poison
I
or
would never
roofie
harm
anybody.
a human.
But
like,
man, these are trusting people to be like, sure, give me your mystery
Again,
alcohol.
so I was
California, I guess. It's
Yeah.
just pretty chill about it. Like,
So-
man, what's the worst that could happen?
so I was giving out like I do full size bars because my family always does full size bars. So I'm like these kids are like digging into these bowls, and these parents are like eating these like limoncello and vodka infused like
Ooh.
gummy bears, and
good.
they were just like there's 2 more alcohols in there, but it's a secret recipe.
So fun.
But it was fun. I was like, sure, take my weird gummy bears,
I
people.
think parents might need to drink to put up with the trick or treating.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. So when we would trick or treat, my grandma would always carry like a thermos, and it was cold in Washington, so I figured she's having hot coffee or something. And one time I was like, "Grandma, I'm really thirsty. Can I have a drink of your?" I thought it was like I don't know what I thought it was. I didn't like coffee.
your hot
so it must have been like
cocoa,
water,
cider,
yeah,
or
could I have
something?
something.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
she's like,
cider.
"Okay," and she had this big smirk on her face, and it was beer. And I was like, I was probably
you beer?
Oh, I was just a sip of it because she knew, and I hated it. So I had to go to a stranger's house and ask for water because the taste was so bad. I had to be like, my grandma just gave me booze. I'm like, can I have some water, please? And the look, I'll never forget the look they gave me. But
Grandma
that's what I would
sounds
do.
awesome.
Oh, she's
That's so
hilarious.
I
funny.
can't wait to meet her.
Oh, she's amazing.
So we were talking about a kind of controversial opinion right before we started rolling, and it appears that we are 50-50 split maybe
Yeah.
at this table about candy corn.
It's
yay
so corn
or
is a
nay.
great
It's
candy.
amazing. It's the best trash ever. It's the
And
best trash.
Have you made cookies with it?
Yes.
Oh my god, can we make cookies with it?
Yes. Have you also just put it in a pie dish and melted it into a giant just like
No.
candy corn like so I make a cheesecake where I make
Oh
the
my
crust and then I
God.
melt the candy corn in the crust
Britt
and
and I
then
are
build
like,
the
"What's
cheesecake
happening?"
on top of it so you have a layer of candy corn in the cheesecake.
Will you marry me?
Okay.
I'm intrigued.
Sorry, Nate.
So here's the thing: I can handle about 5 pieces of candy corn, and then after
Oh.
that, I just get I can't even say I really enjoy the taste like thoroughly.
There is no taste.
But
It
the
tastes
mouth
like wax.
feel. The mouth feel.
Is that
The
yeah?
mouth feel.
But after a certain
love
amount,
that
I just
feel.
can't stop eating, and then I get really sick.
The
so
texture.
I kind of
I mean, I also eat it until I get sick, but that's
That's
like a
thoroughly-
bag.
Let me tell you the
That is the
superior way
objective.
to ingest candy corn, which
Oh,
my
no.
friend Amarise and I experimented with my first Halloween in San Francisco. You make candy corn martinis. What you do is you take the candy corn, you put it in a giant cup of vodka. I use a 4-cup glass measuring device. You pour in the candy corn. So you want to do about 1 part candy corn to 2 parts vodka. So about like a third of a cup of candy corn to like 2/3 cup of vodka. And then you let it sit for like probably an hour or 2, and then you stir it occasionally, and the candy corn will dissolve completely into the
come on.
vodka,
That sugar.
making
Why don't we
candy
have these right
corn
now?
vodka. We can make
Wait,
them later.
I was
Oh my
gonna say,
God.
can we do this for the next month's Patreon streams?
Why-
Can
why-
you make the cheesecake?
Why
and
next
can
month?
you make the?
We could
why-
do it both months.
We
could do it.
Do we have time?
well,
Yeah,
we have
we'll
time for
figure
the
it out.
vodka
Okay.
part.
The cheesecake, no. We
The
won't have
cheesecake, no,
time
no,
today.
but
Vodka,
but the
yes.
vodka.
I'll
martinis.
make it ahead of time
Okay,
before you're all here again.
great. I'm excited.
But yes, if you've never tried the candy corn martini, you don't need to add anything to it. I mean, you could add, another type of liqueur to kind of balance the flavor a little bit, but there's so much sugar in it at that point that you just shake it, strain it, and drink it. We did try it with a little bit of cream soda.
Ooh.
So as a cocktail, and that was good, but I prefer, because I like my vodka straight, so I prefer to just
Yeah, you do.
the
Do you
candy corn
eat
vodka
it
is.
in sections? Because I like to bite each
Yep.
individual.
I bite the nub off first.
Yep, and then you bite the middle,
Then you bite the
and
middle,
then you eat the
and then you eat the
Okay.
last part. You eat the butt last.
Yeah, the butt's the best part.
Is
It
the
is.
nub the little white part?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
little nub.
The little nub. I do bite that. God, I kind of like candy corn now that I'm thinking about it. I think I like it.
Candy corn. It's the best. It is objectively the best trash.
It
really
is
is.
So
it is
good.
trash. You understand it's trash. Everyone
Yeah,
does.
but it's delicious trash.
There have
Once a
been
year
some
trash.
like I just burped into the microphone. I apologize, everybody. They experimented. I forgot what company does it, but they make like caramel apple candy corn, and they've like kind of
I'm a
experimented.
Oh, yeah, I've
traditionalist.
tried
Yeah,
that.
it's not good.
No.
It's
It's
not
gotta be
good.
Brock's because they're the people who make like the standard candy corn.
Yeah, and it's not good. Like the OG candy corn is the candy corn that you
Yeah.
are supposed to eat.
Yes,
Okay.
1,000% agree.
It's so good.
Here's a quick question. Back
Yes.
to candy. Was it always a myth, or did people actually put razor blades into chocolate? Has that been confirmed that ever
What?
happened?
Yeah, I remember that.
don't know.
That it was like a scary story that like that would go around on the news
Yeah.
about kids getting, sabotaged with candy. I never actually heard of somebody doing that. I thought it was just like urban legend
That's
to like
what
keep
I'm
kids
wondering.
on their toes, to be like be on the lookout for stranger and suspicious stuff.
and like
Stranger
don't
danger.
have any candy that looks like it's been wrapped in a special way versus like the original packaging.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
Damn.
know. I hope not. I feel like I should look that up. But
Like, are there any confirmed cases of that actually?
did you
happening?
guys have that one house that was like the creepy house that you never wanted to go to, that you always intentionally skipped because they had like the scary person living there?
It wasn't
We
necessarily.
had a couple. Connecticut, everything in
than
Connecticut
one.
is haunted.
It
And
was
everyone
more
is
just
weird. so-
unfriendly people
Yeah.
on my block. Like they weren't scary; they were just mean. So we wouldn't go there.
We lived in the sticks a little bit, so we'd always go to like those huge neighborhood developments where you would just go like house to house to house to house.
Yeah.
So I never really
Very
like,
efficient.
knew the homes.
My
Did you guys ever go trick or treating in a mall? Because I have.
No.
No.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. We went trick or treating in the mall.
Yeah, the mall in my hometown I think started doing something like that very late. So like past my trick or treating years. It was basically a way for parents to like spend money while their kids were trick or treating. But like it's not the same as going in a neighborhood.
Oh no, I'm not saying it is, but I just remember. I vividly remember going to malls to trick or treat, and then I was just wondering if I was alone in that.
Wow.
What is that?
Oh, I think it's the TV doing an emergency signal in the house.
Okay.
What was the latest age you trick or treated? When did you stop trick or treating?
I think it was like
High school?
11 or 12.
school,
Or
yeah,
maybe
me
actually, maybe it was closer to like 13 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember the last year we essentially just dressed in black and put masks on and just like,
you were cats.
yeah, we just like kind of like dicked around. We didn't really like go trick or treating. We would go to a couple of houses of the people we knew,
Mhm.
but like there were so many like, we were mostly just wanting to play ditch. Did you guys ever play ditch?
No, what are you
No.
talking
Is that
about?
a North Dakota thing?
Do you run into a ditch and jump around?
I got a good idea how to entertain ourselves tonight.
No, it was
Let's go play ditch, guys. There's a great one over by the Target.
It was almost like a capture the flag in some way, where like we would split into teams and we had to hold a specific area, and then you had to like get everybody in your team back to one area, but then you would leave someone there to guard it, because if the other team came, you could like tag them out. I can't remember the exact
That's
rules.
capture the flag. That sounds like
but like there was no
literally
actual
just
flag
capture the
though. That was my point.
capture the area.
I'll look it
Capture
up.
the
So
No, we didn't
according to
play ditch.
Snopes, the pins and needles and razor blades in trick or treating is true.
Oh, just
Don't
not,
do that.
not in
So
our
it
area.
says here, these cases constitute a different class of tampering than poisoning for a couple of reasons. First, the expected level of harm is severely reduced. Professor Joel Best reported that he's been able to track about 80 cases of sharp objects in food in incidents since 1959.
Oh, wow.
But almost all were hoaxes. Only about 10 culminated in even minor injury, and in the worst case, a woman required a few stitches.
Okay, that's
Compared to eat something and die, a couple of stitches barely registers on the scale.
I mean, I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense because you would immediately notice it. Your
Unless you
mouth
just
bite,
like swallow it whole.
which
Right.
we're not dogs and cats here. We
Right.
do
yeah,
chew our
it's,
food.
it says an incident that broke out with this expected pattern occurred in Minneapolis in 2000 when a 49-year-old James Joseph Smith was charged with one count of adulterating a substance with intent to cause death, harm, or illness after it was determined he put needles in Snickers bars and handed them out to children on Halloween.
What is wrong with you?
God.
A 14-year-old boy was pricked by a needle hidden in a bar he'd bitten into, but no one required medical attention.
Humans.
What kind
Why
of
you
like,
do this?
what kind of
Okay.
you're a
just-
sick person if you do
Well,
that.
yeah, obviously.
Get off the earth.
Apparently, in
Backflip
Halloween
off
of
the
air. Backflip off.
1982, that year saw a number of tragic and random non-Halloween poisonings of both foodstuffs and medicines, including Tylenol poisonings that killed 7 people. Although the crazed madman tampering with kids' Halloween treats had been an established boogeyman for the last 15 years.
I remember the Tylenol thing. I mean, I wasn't born, but I remember reading about the Tylenol thing and how they had to pull everything off the shelves.
Interesting.
Jesus.
Speaking of crazy, kooky, and scary things,
Mm-hmm.
we want to talk briefly about our favorite Halloween movies.
Yeah.
So
Hocus
we were-
Pocus.
So Hocus Pocus
Only
is
answer.
by far one of the like top 3 best Halloween movies of all time. And I found out that Brittany hasn't seen it yet.
I can't believe it's like that movie would be so up your alley, girl. It is.
Yeah.
It is just so freaking.
No, we're going to
good.
watch it. We're going to
I wanna-
educate Britt.
Well, we have candy corn martinis.
yes, perfect.
I want to see it. I need to see all. What's the other movie? Labyrinth that I need to
You
see.
see, I mean, there's a lot of movies you
What?
need to see.
I'm just
Oh
not
my
a
gosh.
film person.
Hocus Pocus, Labyrinth, Fern Gully,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
girlfriend.
Mhm.
Girlfriend.
Mhm.
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll make good. So
We'll make
one
happen.
of my favorite scary movies, I actually really liked the Halloween version. The Season of the Witch was Halloween 3. So typically Halloween movies are based around like, you know, Michael Myers and this crazed killer, and they don't necessarily reflect around like the actual holiday of Halloween. But that one did, and it was really, really fucked up because they were poisoning kids' candy in that movie. Did you guys ever see it?
No, I'm curious.
I don't
now,
really
though.
watch scary movies. That's why Hocus Pocus is like the ultimate Halloween movie for
Yeah,
me. Because
for
like, I can watch this.
Oh, maybe it wasn't candy. Maybe it was like these masks that they were wearing. But there was like this
The
really
masks
creepy.
were poisoned.
There was this no, it was like
What?
it like
That's what I was confused.
I'm gonna look it up to get my facts straight. But they had this jingle. It was like Happy Happy Halloween,
Put a mask
Silver
on, murder
Shamrock.
people.
It was like this jingle from this like company that was like killing these kids or whatever.
Ooh,
Smells
I'm
like
curious.
Yeah, no.
Not that I.
I like
Like
Hocus
children.
Pocus, Nightmare Before Christmas. That's like the
Yeah,
extent.
Nightmare Before Christmas is great.
Such a classic. Brittany, please tell me you've seen it.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Wait, seen what?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh no.
What?
I like how you're like, oh no, of course. I
Okay, so here's like the little like the little
wouldn't.
synopsis.
Oh, Brittany.
Oh my God, you guys
Just
are the
love
worst.
me. Just love me.
So, hospital emergency room, Dr. Daniel Chalice and Ellie Grimbridge, the daughter of a murder victim, uncovered a terrible plot by small-town mask maker Connell Cochran, a madman who's planning a Halloween mass murder utilizing an ancient Celtic ritual. The ritual involves a boulder stolen from Stonehenge using the silver shamrock masks and a triggering device contained in a television commercial, all designed to kill millions of children.
I want to see that.
It's actually pretty
yeah.
good. We
You're
can
not
watch
allowed
it.
to watch anything until you've seen Hocus Pocus,
And Nightmare Before
Labyrinth,
Christmas.
Fern Gully, and now The Nightmare Before
No,
Christmas.
listen, Fern Gully can wait. We can.
Fern Gully can
We can
wait.
definitely watch
Yeah.
Halloween 3. I also like when we talk about horror movies. I really love Cabin in the Woods. Did you guys see that one?
That's a
Oh,
really
yeah,
good
yeah.
one.
No, but I've heard that it's good and a little more campy slash maybe I could watch it and be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not
Smart.
like gruesome
It's smart.
torture porn.
No.
It's not like
Yeah.
Saw
That's-
or Hostel or any of those kinds of
I
movies.
can't do anything where it's really graphic. I have the thing where like if I see something happening to you, I feel it happening to me.
Yeah.
And so I just can't do
Your
it. I
hands are so
can't.
cold.
I know. I'm dead basically. But
It's like Death Becomes Her.
yeah. But I don't have to spray myself with paint, thank God.
Yes.
I don't remember where I was going. Anyways, that was probably the end of the story.
You were talking about how you get
Cabin in the
squeamish
Woods. Oh,
about
Yeah,
when
it's,
things
it's
happen
just,
to
it's
people
just a
in
visual
movies.
thing, and like so if I see someone and they get their throat slit in a movie, I'm like,
Yeah.
nope, nope, run away, nope.
Have you seen one of my favorite awful horror movies, Jason X?
No, what's that about?
Ooh, I saw that a long time ago.
So there's the Jason movies. There's like a bajillion of the Friday the 13th
Jason.
movies. There's like
Jason.
a ton of them. And Jason X they're on like a space station in the future, and they have like Jason's body or something, and Jason gets resurrected and proceeds to kill everyone on the space station. It's like in the future. It's like
Jason
really,
in
really
space.
cheesy and bad.
that
And
sounds fantastic.
and the best death in that movie is he creeps up behind this girl who's over a vat of liquid nitrogen, sticks her face in the vat of liquid nitrogen, then turns and bashes her face on the counter, and her face just shatters.
Yep.
It's
That
it's
is
like
really weird.
ridiculous. Jason
I-
X is.
I want to see these. So I love horror film, but the only one I watch every Halloween is The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
That's
Oh,
not a
That's
horror
not a
film.
horror
My
film.
It's not.
God.
So that's what I'm saying is I love horror films, but I don't watch horror films around Halloween like specifically because it is Halloween. The only film I watch around Halloween is The Great Pumpkin, Charlie
That's
Brown.
amazing.
So-
You're a child, and I love you so much.
I love the Charlie Brown.
I used to
actually haven't
watch
watched it in
that.
a long time.
It's good. I'm wondering if you've seen, because you seem like the kind of person who would seen this. There was an old Raggedy Ann and Andy Halloween special called "The Pumpkin Who Couldn't Smile" about a sad pumpkin.
Why does it sound familiar?
It's like the pumpkin is sad because nobody picked him, and then because he's kind of like deformed. So Raggedy Ann and Andy bring him to this old like crotchety woman who like has lost the spirit of Halloween, and she like loves this deformed pumpkin, and they're like
I love
happy
deformed
again.
Is it? Yeah. With pumpkins, and then that also made me think of like Christmas trees. I always want to pick the saddest ones because I know nobody else wants them. And
I
I'm
always buy the deformed
come
ones.
home with me.
Yeah.
Raggedy Ann and Andy freak me out. So I used to have Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls, and my mom every night would put them on my bed, and every night I would wake up and throw them in the extra bedroom because they would give
You
me
didn't
nightmares.
tell your mom you don't like them? Please stop
I
putting
did,
them in my
but
bed.
I think she thought I don't know what happened.
Your
Torture.
mom was
Thanks, Mom.
mean.
Thanks, Mom.
So you know the story, the story that they based the Annabelle movies on, about the Annabelle Raggedy Ann doll that was super possessed.
Oh yeah.
That happened like 30 miles from my house in Connecticut.
Wait, what do
I've
you mean?
seen the doll.
What do you mean?
I've seen the actual dolls.
No, but
So-
the movie's based on a
the
true
movie is
story?
based on a true story
didn't know that.
of a house, like these young women who had this possessed Raggedy Ann doll that told them that her name was Annabelle. And Ed and Lorraine Warren, the like ghost hunters and demonologists, lived about 30 miles from my house, and their occult museum is really close to my old house in Connecticut. So I've been there like with my mother, and like I've met Ed and Lorraine Warren. Ed has passed, but
Oh my God,
Lorraine is
that's
still here.
amazing.
And I've seen the Annabelle doll in a glass case, like this little shitty Raggedy Ann doll. It is so freaking weird, but it's
Does it
real.
look-
So does it ever move in the
I'm
case?
confused.
They say it moves in the case. I didn't see it. I have never.
They've
like,
got to have
seen
like
it
a
move in the
camera
case.
on that thing, right?
They do.
Yeah.
They said it like moves and stuff. It'll like turn or whatever.
So
But it's
so
under
it just-
it's under like all these wards and like protections and stuff.
that's insane.
Did anybody
Wards
Yeah.
is like a
besides these
wizard over there?
kids-
What's going on?
Wards is like anti.
protective wards?
So the Warrens were demonologists. So they obviously
the
have
Warrens.
like a priest bless the box or something.
This is
or
a
whatever.
whole field
Whole
that I
thing.
know nothing about.
Connecticut, everything in Connecticut is haunted. It all happens in Connecticut. The haunting in Connecticut, just the whole state.
the whole thing. That's where all the,
The whole
hauntings
state,
begin.
everything's
Explain
haunted.
the
Everything
doll
dies
more.
and then is reborn
The
in Connecticut
doll?
where they haunt.
Because I
haunt
haven't
everything.
seen this movie. So that she just says her name's Annabelle. Like, did she tell the kids to do something?
So they had, so in the real story, the real life story.
yeah, tell us the real story. I don't care about the movie.
This doll was possessed, and these two girls would like use a Ouija board and hold seances with it, trying to contact it. And what ended up happening is they summoned this like poltergeist activity into their house. So things were breaking, flying off shelves, like they were being attacked, scratched, like in the middle of the night. In the movie, obviously, it's like a theatrical release, so the doll like walks around and talks and
Oh,
like does
yeah.
all this, movie shit.
Right.
But
that's not
It is
at
based
all-
on a real story.
Okay. Did you guys ever mess around with Ouija boards?
I did.
Oh yeah.
No.
We had
I don't-
one.
She's
I-
like,
I
I,
will
don't
not-
fuck with that.
I've seen the firsthand effects of people. Like my mother's a paranormal investigator, so I've seen some shit. I will not fuck with a Ouija board.
Yeah, we had one really bad experience with a Ouija board when I was a kid.
Really?
So my dad, and I think he still has it. He said he
Oh,
got rid
no.
of. He said he got rid of it.
You have to
but
bury it.
I
You have
think
to
he
bury
still
it.
has it.
Bury
So
the board?
You
my
have to bury
dad
the
has
board.
a Ouija board from like when he was a kid, like from like the 60s.
Oh.
That's
my
that's like
God.
vintage in all like the creepiest ways. And so there was one day when my dad's friend came over to watch a football game with him, and he brought his kids because they were both like bachelor dads, like both divorced dads. And so like we would all get together, and like the kids would like, go in the basement and like play video games or do whatever. And then we had this Ouija board, and so we were
Who brought
like,
the Ouija board?
the Ouija board existed, was my dad's from when he was a kid, so it was like in the closet.
Oh my
And
God.
so I pulled it out, and we were like, let's play with the Ouija board. And it was me, my sister, my friend, I think her name was Jessica, and I can't remember what her brother's name was, but Ryan maybe. He was the only boy there, and it was like all girls, and so we were playing the game, and us being funny, being like, oh, because we were like 10. We were like, oh, who's Ryan gonna marry? Or whatever. And we kept moving it around and kept making names, and he just kept getting angrier and angrier. And we thought it was a joke, but he just like, he got so mad to the point that like he like threw this like crazy fit and like went up like crying, and we were like, what's happening? And my dad got so mad for some reason. Like there was just this energy like in the room.
Weird. Hades.
That my dad
No, not
like
Hades.
like
Aries.
like
Aries.
went into this like crazy angry tizzy where he started yelling, and then he picked the game up, smashed the board, and like threw it in the trash.
Oh my god.
And I was like, what? Wait, that escalated super quickly.
That should not have escalated.
You don't
into
And I-
that.
fuck with Ouija
and
boards.
I didn't know what happened, but I found the box like years later. So like my dad clearly like took it out of the trash and put it back
That's so
somewhere
weird.
and hid it from us
Is
for
your
a
dad
really
being
long
possessed
time.
by this Ouija board?
I don't know.
The
Oh
Ouija,
my God,
the
I
Ouija
don't
board does
know.
not
I
possess
should
you.
call
It's
him
what
and see if he
comes
still
through the
has
Ouija
it.
board.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll send him a text and be like,
Do not
Dad,
fuck
do you
with
have
the
the
Ouija
Ouija
board.
board?
I think I was in high school. We had a friend who had a Ouija board, and she had a whole bunch of like, it was like a girl sleepover. I think there was 10 of us or something. And we're obviously, I was a giant chicken. Like I didn't want to do anything. I was terrified of my father. So like I didn't want to ever do anything that might be remotely
Yeah.
quote unquote bad. So they're like, we're gonna bust out the Ouija board, and I was like, oh, I don't know, that seems really dangerous, guys. Which of course is not. It's dumb, but anyway, well, you know what I mean. And so,
You guys want to play the Luigi board?
Luigi.
do we like want to go outside and play instead? Maybe we could like make some popcorn and watch a movie. So they all like break the board out. I sit and like we make a circle and do all this weird stuff. Now, I don't remember what the questions were that they were asking, but we're doing the Ouija board thing with the lights down. The first part was not coincidental. Like her brother or something was messing with us through the vent and was like, "Brrr," from beyond the grave. But
what a dick.
then randomly we hear a giant explosion thing outside, like as we're like, doing this, and then we turn the lights on and there's like a black bug thrashing in the middle of our circle. Just like randomly came out of nowhere. I was like, nope. And I just like left the house.
A black bug?
Yeah,
Like
it
a
was
beetle?
like a larger earwig sort of a thing that was just
Oh,
sitting in the
that's-
middle thrashing. Like not even like being a normal bug, just like
He was just
flipping out.
was just having a break dance in
Yes.
the middle of your board.
Yes. not
Jeez.
in the board, in the middle of the circle.
Oh God.
Ew.
it
That's
was
weird.
It was really weird and creepy.
You don't fuck with Ouija boards.
And
Experiences.
I've never touched a Ouija board since.
I don't blame you. Something I would recommend you ladies do if you haven't. Have you ladies checked out Halloween Horror Nights?
Yes.
Oh no.
So Universal Studios does this every year, and it is so fun.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately a little expensive, and it's very crowded. And they'll gladly sell you a fast pass. But it is definitely an experience if you're into haunted houses that you should try at least once.
Yeah.
So Six Flags also does something similar. I know like Knott's Berry Farm down in Los Angeles also does it. I'm sure if you guys have like an amusement park near you, they probably do something similar. Disney does like the very like family friendly version.
Oh,
but
that's so much fun. I do
I'm
that every
going
year,
there. I
too.
can't wait.
It's so much
Disney
fun.
Halloween?
Mickey's very not so scary Halloween party. It's so much fun. But what's really cool about the Halloween Horror Nights is they take all these major franchises and base like these movie set quality haunted houses off of them. So they've done like
Ooh.
The Exorcist. They do The Walking Dead every year. This year they're doing The Shining, Insidious. So good. And so how I watch my horror Halloween films, yeah, that makes sense, is I'll watch all of the films before you experience the haunted houses. So that's how I saw like The Exorcism. That's how I saw Cabin in the Woods. That's how I've seen all those things, because I want to go into them knowing like what to expect. They're freaking terrifying. The Exorcism one, they had a room
The
where you walk in, the
Exorcist?
girl's just like floating like above the bed, like things. Oh, it's so
I
I've
can't
watched-
do haunted houses.
I feel like I only watched 15 minutes of The Exorcist, but it was like the really creepiest parts. And
have to be
couldn't
drunk.
sleep
you have
for
to be
like
very
2
drunk.
weeks.
I had to be
yeah,
very
The
drunk.
Exorcist is
It was
definitely messes with
too
your mind.
serious business for me.
Yeah.
When
Did
when
not
your
like.
mom hunts ghosts, scary movies don't really do anything for you anymore.
That makes sense.
So I just
I have an
don't.
overactive imagination. So even stuff that's not really scary, for instance, Scream. I don't think Scream is that scary of a movie.
No.
No.
But as I was watching it, I was like, this isn't scary. But then the movie ended and my brain went,
Woo.
why don't we make this more terrifying after the fact? And so I couldn't walk around like by myself. I was just having paranoid thoughts that like someone was gonna come up behind me and stab me in my own house, which was like Fort Knox. We had alarms. My dad has guns. Like there's no one's coming in my house and stabbing me.
Right.
Logically, but I couldn't do it. I was just
Logically.
It's like going in the basement when even
Yeah.
as a kid, when you're an adult, it doesn't matter how old you are. No one wants to go in the creepy dark
No.
basement by themselves, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
Shit
just
goes
it's
down
just
in
a
the
thing.
basement.
It's always
like-
the basement.
Like I had a super creepy basement as growing up because basements are not a thing in California, but I'm from North Dakota where there are tornadoes, so everybody has a basement.
We had a basement.
And
We
my
had a
dad
basement.
had a sub basement. It was like a basement and then another deeper level basement.
Was
Wow.
that like the if a tornado runs around, like you go to the basement to like not die?
Well, I mean, we would only go to like the first level because that's where like the extra TV was, and we would hang out. But like the sub basement was good for like storage, and like that's where all of the like the housing
Like the water
utilities
heater
were
and
and stuff like that. Yeah, pantry, whatever. But yeah, basement's creepy.
Fuck basement.
Basements are the worst.
Yeah.
No, I love my basement. But that's because like it was always the play area for us. So we had growing up, it was unfinished for most of the time that I was growing up in it. And then my dad had just put down this giant foam thing, so we would just do gymnastics. We would just like do cartwheels and crap in the basement.
Oh no, I'm not saying basements aren't great. I love my basement during the day when the sun
Sure.
was out, but
Sure.
at night when it was quiet and it was dark, it was creepy as fuck.
True. True.
We have to wrap this up, ladies. Any final parting Halloween memories, thoughts, well wishes for our secret patrons?
Check your candy. Check your children's candy.
Don't play with Ouija boards.
Don't play with the Ouija board.
Maybe think twice before accepting alcoholic gummy bears from a stranger.
I'm not a stranger.
You can accept them from Alexa Ray. I can
Yes,
vouch
she's
that
the
she's
only
a good
one.
person.
They're really good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you everybody. Let us know what your favorite Halloween memories are. Shoot us a message on this video, leave us a Patreon post, tweet us, Facebook us. We're looking forward to celebrating the holiday with you. We have some fun other content planned, which we will talk about later. But until then, mwah, we love you.
Bye.